right, ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling is Real to Us and the Killer Elite would like to present to you, what is this, our fourth episode of the Rope Talk?
Official episode.
Yeah, official fourth episode of the Monday night recapping of the Rope Talk. There you go. Our hosts tonight, Lee Jones, Simon Highland, and myself, Gabriel Pierce. We will be recapping Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and we'll be recapping Monday Night Raw. And we'll be talking about a little bit of what the future holds in WWE. Let's get into this, guys.
Money in the Bank was definitely a show of two halves for me. The first half kind of lacked in... I don't know if it was to do with the crowd or the people in the matches themselves, but they just kind of... They did get better. Each match did get better as the night went on. But
yeah, I mean, there was a few things that me and you picked up on watching it. Was the crowd, for one.
Crowd were really
pretty
bad.
Negative, like up until like AJ and Cena like tried to kind of uplift them. But then again, can you blame them? Because as you just said, the show for the first 60% of it were pretty bad.
I thought the crowd started off hot with the tag team match.
Yeah, the tag match was great, but I think the crowd after that, I don't think they really had anything.
The pre-show killed them.
Get themselves hyped up.
The pre-show killed them, and then what happened is the show started with the. We're going into the fatal four-way.
Enzo and Cass got them going, and then the beginning of the match itself it was a bit stop and start at the beginning. It was a bit,
and then we had a referee who just clearly didn't know what the hell was going on.
That referee was shocking. That was a clear 3 count.
So Enzo and Cass are the new, and this is fucking bullshit. Right?
Yeah, they should be the new tag champs.
I called it. I had on the thing that Enzo and Cass would win would win that match,
and we'll go into it too.
Fucking referee, I may now be forced to buy a Roman Reigns shirt.
Okay, so right. we're gonna dip in this from the beginning. We're gonna bring this back. All right, so the first match, Lucha Dragons versus Dudleys. I honestly thought it was pretty good. It had for a pre-show match. It was good.
I'm really high on Kalisto. I think he is.
Yeah, that's the thing is Kalisto brought it, and he's used to these pre-shows.
He is brilliant in the ring. And
I think Devon made this match.
Devon,
he is the greatest thing in sports entertainment today.
The match itself was pretty good. I don't like Sin Cara, and I don't. He does that springboard back elbow drop. He did it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, he's really bad. He's no Kalisto. This whole group actually does nothing for Kalisto's career because he has to carry Sin Cara every time.
Yeah.
He was much better at doing a singles run, and he should continue to do a singles run and just forget about the Lucha Dragons completely. Did you, the commentator when he said, Game of Thrones isn't the only show with flying dragons?
Yeah. that was good. Yeah, I thought.
So I thought it was a good match though. Like it delivered for a pre-show.
Look, it was as good as you're gonna get with the Dudleys versus the Lucha Dragons. It's never gonna be any better than that. So.
All right. So we move on now. It was the Golden Truth versus Breezango.
Oh fucking what!
I refuse to comment.
What the fuck was that little clip with them
I am out.
What are they doing? Going into the sunbed and then peeling each other's skin.
No.
Oh, seriously?
No.
This is fucking WWE. This isn't Tanning Salon fucking live.
No, I'm not doing it.
Literally cannot fucking stand.
I refuse.
Alright, so Golden Truth won that one. We all 3 picked Golden Truth, and it's noted that Lee picked the Dudley Boys over Lucha Dragons. So
why would you do that, Lee?
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was
the Dudleys are one of these tag teams that they could go on a 20-match losing streak, win one match, and be straight into the title picture, just because of their name. So
I just thought, I had hopes that maybe WWE wanted to give Kalisto a singles run, and maybe they was going to do that by having them lose to the Dudleys.
Kalisto will do better. Lucha Dragons will be one of the teams split up in the draft. Same as
Thank fucking God, what a waste. Talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we start the show off, Money in the Bank. They had some pretty good songs to go with some of the hype for Money in the Bank, which I really liked. But we start off with the tag match, and the crowd is really into Enzo and Cass, especially
This
Enzo.
match was all over the place.
Yeah, the Enzo and Cass are super over at the moment, though. I think they're one of the tag teams that can do no wrong at the moment. They can take a loss; it won't hurt their stock. They can pick up a win against anybody in the tag team division, and it won't look bad. They can take the loss. They are so over.
Yeah, I mean they're one of those teams that don't really need to be the title holders to be over.
No, which is what
which actually it inadvertently hurts them because they're so over that the WWE have no reason to kind of put the strap on them.
Yeah, that's
all right,
kind of
guys.
What happened in NXT, so
we are going to be inviting in a guest. Our guest right now is the person who created the Killer Elite on the mobile supercard game. Dan, welcome.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hey Dan, all right?
We're recapping Money in the Bank right now, man. We're right now on the tag team match.
We're about to discuss the new champions Enzo and Cass. We all saw it.
We all saw it. That blatant recap.
But that,
we all saw the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
No bullshit in this podcast. We all saw that shit.
We're gonna review. If we're going back on Money in the Bank, are we gonna lead up for Raw too? Because
Yes, we're doing the Raw recap too. After Money in the Bank.
That leads to something that they changed to on Monday. Who forever saw it. So
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this refs another match. I'll be surprised because that wasn't the.
Dude, he botched like 8 things.
I cannot remember the actual spot, but it was a case of where, and I can't even remember who was going for the pin. I just remember the situation. So, it was supposed to be pulled off before the 3 count.
Gallows messed up.
And the timing was horrific, and the referee counted to 3, and it was a clear 3.
Gallows was meant to pull his leg from under the ropes, and the leg wasn't far enough in, and Gallows completely missed the leg.
It could have been fucking 5. Like it took forever for him to pull him out of the ring, and then it was like everyone acted like it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, didn't happen. It's like
but
what? The referees like pretending.
They weren't the only ones that botched in the match, though, were they? Because there was a spot where Big E had Anderson.
Oh, that was horrific.
Was it Anderson on his shoulders, and Gallows was stood on the other side of the ring, and they were just staring at each other, and nothing was happening, and
just like staring at him awkwardly.
Yeah.
At the end of it, Gallows botched a few things in the match.
I don't even think they pinned. I don't even think English was the legal man at the time.
No, he wasn't. Because Enzo never made the tag. He thought
there's a few times, Simon, when me and you were watching this, and you was like, "Is he the legal man? Is he the legal man?"
Yeah.
Like, I think there was so much going on. The referee just could not keep on top of it. But
I think it was the inexperience of the vaudevillains, and because obviously Aiden English came in on the tag. The ref pulled Enzo out of the ring and said, no, the tag's been made, when Enzo was on the other side of the ring and clearly didn't make a tag on Aiden English. And
it was a good match for the wrong reasons. I mean, Botchamania has some great fucking material to work with.
Oh yeah, definitely now.
Yeah. It was an alright match. There's another spot towards the end where the ref was counting again, and he clearly stopped on 2, pointed at the two that were pointed at the guys that I can't remember who it was, pointed at the guys that were doing the pinfall, and then Aiden English was on the outside of the ring, and the ref waited for Aiden English to get in the ring and jump on the pinfall to break it up. So it was so many bad spots. But the match itself, you take away those points, and the match itself was all right.
Yeah, it wasn't. It needed something because the pre-show was so bad.
And it obviously shocked all three of us that New Day won, because we got Lee chose Enzo and Cass in our little bet pool we got going on. You chose Vaudevillains.
I did, yeah.
Vaudevillains.
I chose the club. So we chose all three teams that did not win.
I was watching this assignment. This Simon was like, "I can't believe I chose the Vaudevillains."
But there was a reason. There was a reason why I chose the Vaudevillains, and it was a legitimately good reason behind my thinking. But because I really don't want to wear fucking Roman Reigns shirt and praise him. So I thought about it too much, and I thought, well. They don't usually have a face to face. I
realised that 2 minutes into the match.
Yeah, I was like, they don't usually have a face to face handover, and I was like, I don't think
it's still so silent. So when they come out, there's no reaction at all.
What's up, Dan?
It's unbelievable.
I was gonna say, was he gonna buy a Vaudevillains shirt if they won? I mean,
no. The bet we have going on is we do picks for the pay-per-view, and at the end of the year, the loser has to buy a Roman Reigns T-shirt, take pictures around town. We all three hate Roman Reigns. Take pictures around town in the shirt. That means go out in public with it.
This is the worst punishment ever conceived by mankind.
And you have to support the guy and defend him on social media for a month straight.
This is absolutely horrific.
Buy the shirt. I'll give you the shirt. I got one sitting in my kid's closet.
If I don't have to buy one.
My kid hates him now, and he has a poster of him and a shirt of him for the damn show we went to. I'll send you the poster too. It's signed. You can walk around with it and tell people why it's signed.
Well, it looks like you're sending it to me.
Right now Lee's down. He has 6 wins, 6 losses, and Simon and I are tied for first with 8 wins, 4 losses.
Such bullshit.
But yeah, okay. So New Day won.
Yeah.
That was...
No Day won. Yeah.
I think shocker to everyone. I mean, well, watching Raw now, which we'll get in later, not a shocker, but, I mean, shocker because they've held these damn titles for damn near a year.
I mean, look, whenever they reference a record, they're obviously going to be, keep it until they pass the record, haven't they? But,
London and Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
So what was next?
The next one, I'm not sure exactly which match it was. It was either Ziggler, Corbin, or Cruz, Sheamus.
It was Corbin. It wasn't. It was Corbin next.
Which honestly was
the best match they'd had.
It was a good match.
It was the best match they'd had. It was. Oh, did you notice that Ziggler was basically wearing Shawn Michaels tights, but with skulls instead of hats?
Yeah, I saw that.
Fuck off, Ziggler. Right.
I'm getting really annoyed with him. Every time he goes to hit the super kick, he fucking stamps. That's starting.
He needs to get his own thing.
Yeah, that's starting to bug me. You're not Shawn Michaels. You might sell better than him, but that's about all you do better than him.
Look, it was really good. I just hope that this has to be the last of the rivalry.
It is.
Now.
It's the last of him and Corbin. But Corbin showed that he could put on a 4-star match with someone.
Yeah.
Like, the end of days is ruthless. Like, it is a legitimate finish.
Yeah, we spoke about this during the pay-per-view, didn't we?
Man,
I wouldn't like to take one, that's for sure.
I mean, I wouldn't take one, but I wouldn't take probably 80% of spots. So, the same would. It's a fucking horrible move.
Okay. So that happened. We'll move on next. It's note to pick that Lee also chose Ziggler in this and not Corbin.
What was I thinking?
You got a guy who you just said tries to act like Shawn Michaels. He does the famous like Billy Gunn. He's trying to put skulls on himself like Stone Cold. He doesn't, but he just grabs it from everybody.
And then you pick him.
I will say about Ziggler though. He does hit the Famouser better than anyone.
Oh yes,
Famouser is legit. It should really that should be finished better than the zigzag. That's terrible.
He should just cut a little hole out in the back of his shorts, and then end up being a great move on it.
Yeah.
So what was next?
We also had 2 wild card picks in this too. We asked if someone would make a surprise return.
Yeah.
All 3
No
of us
fucking
missed
did.
this because they all returned on Raw.
Yeah.
I picked Sasha Banks.
Bullshit.
Both you picked Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And then we both. And then I asked if everybody thought there was going to be a cash in tonight, and we all said yes, and we all got that
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But
So-
it's so obvious.
Next matchup was Cruz versus Sheamus.
No, it was
Apollo Snooze versus
wasn't it the Divas
Sheamus.
first?
Yeah, I think we had the Divas first.
Well,
Before.
we'll just go in this order.
Yeah.
We'll go Cruz versus
Okay,
Sheamus.
so Apollo Snooze versus Sheamus.
Yeah.
It was exactly that. I thought that match was subpar.
It was. Yeah. I mean, do we need to talk about this match? It was.
I can't even remember
I mean-
the match that well because
Okay, all I remember is the end. Right, all I remember is Apollo Snooze completely no sells. The Sheamus spot from the middle rope.
oh the
and
white
then
the white
pins
noise
him-
the white
white
noise off the middle
yeah,
rope. Yeah.
and then pins him with a. Let's just move on.
With a roll
Because
up,
It was,
yeah.
it was awful. It was awful.
Gotcha.
let's move on.
You want to add anything?
Match.
Wait, what?
I said I was in the bathroom during that match.
That was the bathroom match, not
Well,
the Divas
you
one.
both on the night, didn't you?
Well, I had Taco Bell, so it kind of went through both of them. So.
Okay, so Charlotte and Dana versus Natty and Becky, and by the way, we all chose Cruz to win.
Yeah,
so
we
all
did,
got
yeah.
that right.
Yeah.
In this one, Simon chose Becky and Natty to win, and Lee and
Yeah.
I chose Charlotte and Dana to win.
yeah.
And I
There's a big
thought
shock.
the match was okay.
The shock.
but-
The shock.
I like what they're doing with Charlotte. They're recreating the Ric Flair character in her. And they're doing
You know,
it almost
it
exactly
was
like
better
how
than I
they did it.
thought. It was much better than I thought it was going to be. It
Does-
was actually the best
I was thinking about
match
this.
so far.
I think I was thinking about this today. Does anyone else think? Do you remember a few years ago when Eve Torres was Divas champ, and she would just find a winning way with help or without help, but it wasn't ever a clean kind of victory with Eve Torres.
Yeah.
Charlotte's reign reminded me of that. Like
Charlotte does it really well as well.
yeah,
Like,
but she's had
she
the
sells it
best
so well.
teacher.
She's very believable.
So she's had the
Well,
best.
I mean, that's how The Miz did it, too. And
Yeah.
The Miz was one of the top hills in the company. So,
Yeah, and I think they might be
You
doing.
mean he was?
well, no, he still technically kind of is.
He's just a whiny little bitch, but anyway.
People
Yeah,
hate him.
He had a whiny
So-
little bitch spot on
I'm
Raw.
thinking
So.
though, with Charlotte, is that they are going to recreate the Four Horsemen with her and to give her 2 other girls to come follow and do the exact same damn thing.
I agree.
But I kind of figured they would win, but I didn't really see the Natalya turning out. But I just hate how they're shitting on Becky Lynch so bad. She's so talented, and they just kind of just make her lose all the time.
Yeah, that shocked me. That,
female
that
Daniel
Natty,
Bryan.
Yeah, she could be the female Daniel Bryan. They could try to recreate that.
Why does Dana Brooke have to exist?
To be the new Roman Reigns.
She's the
But
female Roman.
She's absolutely horrific looking, and she just looks like she's been stung by a big bee.
Yeah, I know.
At least Roman is pretty to look at.
Do not like Dana Brooke. She's the most horrific
She can't
looking
wrestle.
female I've seen. She's shit.
She can't
shit.
wrestle. If you watch her matches in NXT, she injured quite a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
She's terrible.
Yeah, I don't like Dana. Charlotte is actually quite talented when you actually look at it.
She's very talented. She's very athletic. She's very good. It's Charlotte, but Dana Brooke
Do you,
is just.
do you think now
horrendous.
Natty's turn, she's gonna forgive and
Join.
forget with Charlotte?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
fuck
think
no,
she's
I
going to
don't.
join the Four Horsemen.
Do you think Emma will join when she comes back?
No, Emma's retiring.
She's
I don't know if you saw
retiring.
that post.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
Yeah,
know.
she's retiring due to injury.
Is that because of her back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so no Emma then.
Here's a question. Since we're on to the topic of female superstars, will we ever see a Sister Abigail?
Yes.
I think it's
100%.
coming extremely soon.
100%.
I fucking hope so.
He mentioned Sister
that?
Abigail, Dan.
I always thought Paige would be a really good Sister Abigail.
No.
I was thinking
No.
I
Alexa
know it's not
Bliss.
going to happen now, but I just
No.
thought, I love that. I love Paige's finisher. What it was called?
The
It's a
Rampage.
Cool finish.
The Rampage.
Immense finish.
Well, she's got 3, hasn't she? She's got the Page Turner, the Rampage, and the PTO.
Yep.
That one which she's been using recently, which she picks up and like, that's a fucking ace finish.
Yeah, the Rampage. Yeah. She's adapted that as well, because now she does a little turn when she lands on the mat. With her
She's
arm.
very good as Paige. I mean, the fact that she's never been champion is disgusting.
Well, they kind of shit on her though. I mean, she used to be like really, really top, and now she's kind of like pushed to the back now.
Well, she got arrested after Money in the Bank, didn't she? So
yeah, and then that was awkward. What the hell?
they
arrested her, and then she got a title match the next night. So
that was just.
So what was after the Divas match, Gabe?
It was the AJ Styles versus John Cena.
Okay, now this is a funny one. Like I felt the story they was telling was very good, but Cena looked like he was having pretty bad ring rust, and
are you serious?
Really underwhelming for me. Yeah, like the match.
AJ was going too fast.
Yeah.
No, dude, we're gonna have arguments here, dude. AJ was going too fast.
No,
it wasn't Cena had ring rust. AJ was going way too fast.
Cena's had amazing matches with Rollins. Cesaro, Cena is more than capable of having an amazing match with AJ Styles.
I've got to agree with Gabe.
And this was a real.
Wait, what, Simon?
I said I got to agree with you. At the time, I did think the match was I didn't think it lived up to everything that it was billed out to be. However, watching it back again today and watching and thinking, and then obviously after watching Raw and now, obviously they're going to have quite a long feud, so they don't want to go out in the first match.
But this match was very underwhelming.
Yeah, but they don't want to go out in the first match,
really
put all the big spots in one match, and then
there was one good spot.
But AJ Styles, he was going too fast.
Just went to the calf crusher. That was it.
Yeah,
he was going too fast.
I love that Cena was bringing out other things into the match, like he did a belly-to-belly suplex.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was pretty cool. You know, he's bringing out other moves, and people can't say that he's only 5 moves anymore because he's doing other shit during the match.
Really, since he feuded with Punk, you could never say that he only had 5 moves. I mean, he has had amazing matches.
I like the way that AJ was countering. Every time Cena went for his 5 moves of doom, as everyone calls it, I like the way that AJ was
dead all the time.
Yeah, countering it, and I like the fact that
the story of the match was he was too good, and his momentum could never pull off his setup of big moves. It could never fulfill them because AJ would always find a counter.
Yeah.
That counter from the edge adjustment into the calf crusher, I've no idea how he did that. That was ridiculous.
That was quality, yeah.
It was good. It was good. I wish they'd have played up on the contract more, because they did this contract thing where the club couldn't come, but then the club came anyway, and it was. I mean, I did enjoy the kind of AJ Raw segment on this, but we'll go into that later. But I just wish Finn Balor would have turned up instead. Like, that's what I thought. As soon as the referee went out the equation, I was thinking, okay, Finn Balor's going to turn up now. You know, because the club can't, and this is obviously a spot for a reason. But yeah. But AJ went over Cena, and AJ got the win. So
it was a good match. Obviously. It was a good match, and the ending. Everyone's pissed about the ending, but it's going to play into the storyline. Yeah. So
it's carried. I think if AJ won clean, then everyone would be. It wouldn't play to the story, and it would be like, okay, well, AJ's won. What's the point in carrying on the feud? AJ's proved he's better. They don't need a 3-match feud like everyone.
Cena will win the next, and then they'll do like the 3rd big match, which is where all the big spots will happen.
I think they're going to have an old school versus new school match, though, and I think that Randy Orton's going to be part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the rumors are that Orton's going to come and help Cena against the club.
So who's going to be the 3rd member, though? That's going to be.
I don't think there will be 3. I think it's because those 2 are so
good,
and that they're the faces of their era, that they'll be able to take on the club by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, Anderson and Gallows, they're not that good, are they? You know,
Anderson's extremely talented. Yeah. Gallows is just
Gallows.
I don't know what the
He's
hell
just
that guy is.
He's just Festus.
Festus. He's
I saw him
trash,
hanging up the ring up with his mouth open with his tongue out, and I was like, oh great, here we go.
Nostalgia. Okay, so we'll move on. That was a good 4-star match, I thought.
Yeah.
We it's noted that you both picked AJ and I picked Cena.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Noted. That was one of my wrongs. Next up, Money in the Bank.
Wow.
Amazing match from the very beginning.
Dude, this was the best Money in the
match.
Bank match I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think it
Now,
topped every
I
single
said
one of
to
them.
you two before the show, when concerns were raised over there being no true high flyers in it, that it would still be amazing. And it absolutely exceeded my expectations. And it was just what the show needed. It needed an amazing match to kind of pick the audience up, because the audience were getting very flat. But man, there's spots all over in this match.
Did you see
Incredible.
that bullfrog splash where he bent the rungs on the ladder?
Yeah.
Dude, the Taka Michinoku driver onto the fucking stair.
Dude,
onto the...
I was screaming
Oh
he
my
killed him.
God.
I was screaming Kevin Owens is dead.
Yeah.
Like, I was freaking
Yeah.
I was freaking out.
The way he was just led there, I was just like, oh my god.
How did he agree to this spot? Like, okay, I'm going to slam you into the ladders. Oh, great, yeah, but the ladders will be standing on the side, not lying down flat. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Beg your pardon? They'll give you what? Yeah, they'll be on the side, so it'll probably just snap your spine, but it'll be a really good spot for the show.
Yeah. I
So you
felt
do
that. I
realise
felt
I'm
that
a big
pain.
fan, and this is going to destroy me. It's like, yeah, it'll be great, though.
Yeah, exactly, that's what it is. It's their mentality.
It'll be great, though.
It'll be great.
But like Del Rio had some good spots, and he supposedly got seriously injured near the end.
Yeah, he did.
Like he jacked his shin up at the end.
Yeah, when he landed on the top of the ropes, stood up on top of the ropes, and then like his leg got caught round it and flipped over the
I
fucking
thought
side.
that looked messy when he fell.
It was.
Because the other guy,
You never saw him again. It's
Cesaro.
being like carried
Cesaro
on.
just racked himself. So
Yeah.
I've never understood why wrestlers agree to spots where they're literally just falling nut first into the ropes.
yeah.
Like, again, maybe I'm just too much of a pussy for pro wrestling, but I'm watching and I'm like, why would you do this? Like, you're falling nut first into the ropes. This is a horrendous idea.
The spot where Cesaro jumps off the ladder, hits the second rope, and then does his little turnaround uppercut.
Yeah.
What about the spot where he's spinning Jericho around and just tosses him into the fucking ladder?
I think the whole match itself, it had everything, didn't it? Like it didn't.
It was great.
Yeah, and it made you believe on 2 or 3 separate occasions that Jericho was going to win it.
He's never going to win one.
Yeah,
Gift
but it
of
made
Jericho.
you believe he was going to win it, dude. He was
Man.
right there. He was right there.
Yeah.
Jericho's amazing.
I thought me and Leeds spoke about this because we were talking during the pay-per-view, but suddenly, like at one point, Jericho literally ran up the ladder as quickly as he could, and then about literally
like,
10 seconds later,
He
it took him like 10 minutes to get up the fucking top of the ladder.
There was some uncharacteristically fast ladder climbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Usually they climb it like they've fucking got some sort of medical condition and they're unable to fucking move. But yeah, when Jericho ran to the ladder, he flew up there. It's like it's fucking hilarious how fast he made up the ladder. It was like, shit.
And I think Ambrose enjoyed the chaos. Like, he just kind of like relished in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a spot in the match
It
where
was
I actually thought Sami Zayn was going to win.
Yeah.
It had that believability that when he was climbing up, I think it was Cesaro that got him off, but when he was actually climbing up, you could genuinely believe that he was going to actually win the match, which would have been a massive swerve, but it had everything.
So all this ends in Dean grabbing the briefcase and winning. And we all picked Dean.
We all picked
all 3
Dean.
of us picked Dean. Yeah, we all picked Dean.
We all knew what was going to happen once Dean won as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
And right then, because Dean also said it on Raw too, we're like, okay, he's cashing in tonight. So we knew we were going to get the bottom one right.
The thing is to remember is...
Oh yeah.
that
By the way, I wanted to pinpoint this out. The podcast you missed a couple weeks ago, Lee.
yeah.
Dan filled in, and he called this.
I call
Yeah,
it.
but the thing to
Yeah.
remember is that the draft is coming up, and the last thing they need is someone holding the briefcase.
Yeah,
during the
we
draft.
spoke about this
It's
during
not
the
case.
pay-per-view, didn't we, Lee?
Yeah.
That we
it has to happen.
both said that there was no way that they would have a Money in the Bank
No way.
briefcase holder going into the draft.
No way,
And,
man.
and,
How
and
the
that
fuck
and
does
that
that work?
limited who was going to
Like-
win to Ambrose, because
Yeah.
you couldn't have Kevin Owens. Everything played into Ambrose's character
Yeah.
100% for him to pick up the briefcase and cash it in same night. They couldn't have someone
We all said it'd be the same night. didn't we?
holding
We
the
all
briefcase moving forward.
Because he's the only character where it actually suits his character.
Yeah.
It suits his. It just suits him to cash in on the night because of his character is one who tends to not think too far ahead. So him cashed in just on the day because he feels like it. I thought the cash in was going to be a lot sooner. I thought he might just turn it into a triple threat on the day, but it was at the end. But we'll go into that when we get to it. So next was
Rusev versus
which was a
Titus.
Rusev and this was a much longer match than me and Simon thought of.
that's
This was
because-
this was a 4-star match in my
Because
eyes, dude. These
Yeah.
guys put on a show.
Yeah, but this was like 20 for UK time. This was like 20 to 4 a.m. and the pay-per-view is scheduled to kind of finish at 4. I mean, Sam was like, okay, this has got to be a complete squash match then. But this went on for like 15 minutes. Even like 5 minutes left for the main event. But this was a pretty good match. It wasn't. I wouldn't say 4 stars. I'd say more 3. It wasn't great. It was just two big, powerful guys sort of shook each
No, I
other around for
disagree.
a bit.
I disagree. I think the way they had Titus come out and actually attack Rusev, instead of someone just coming out and getting dominated by Rusev, they actually gave him a match. And Titus showed that he can actually go. And I'll go into more on Titus because I'm big on Titus, like you guys know. And I'll go into more about him on what he did on Raw later. But in the actual match, he actually showed that Rusev isn't as dominant as he's made out, as everyone else that he's wrestled has made him out to be, because he comes up against someone who's just as big and just as strong that can actually throw him about. So yeah, it was a good match.
I mean, I do recall him tapping like a bitch. I wouldn't say just that strong.
I'm on Lee's side here. I'm a Rusev.
Yeah, I'm a Rusev fan as well, but
I think we
I'm
need to
a
calm
lot
down.
of fan.
I think for one, I think Titus was always much better as a heel than a face. I don't like him being just this ultra good guy, but he is a big, powerful guy. But the match itself was just two big, strong guys kind of. Rusev would throw
Dude,
about.
this is a better match
Rusev.
than Goldberg and Lesnar put on.
yeah,
Well,
right.
fucking hell, dude. Look, listen, me and
So-
Simon could put on a match better than that.
Goldberg, these guys actually touched each other. Did Goldberg and Lesnar actually touch each other for the first 10
Not
minutes?
really.
They just fucking stood there and looked at each
No,
other.
because their match would be like what I would be like as a wrestler. Like, well, I'm not doing that spot. Well, I'm not doing this spot. Well, I'm not doing that. Fuck off! I'm not doing this. So yeah, it was okay. It was good. It's a fun ride. It's nice to see Titus get sort of a rivalry because he's not had one for so long. It was good. It's just because they're both quite similar, although Rusev is much more athletic.
Yeah.
But they both are just sort of big, powerful guys. It kind of limits because all Titus's moves are big, sort of powerful, throw you into this sort of moves, and Rusev's a bit more dynamic than Titus. So you think, well, Titus is never really going to win he can't win this feud because
Yeah.
I don't think Titus is going to
Agreed.
win the feud, but I like the way they're booking him in the feud.
I mean, I'll tell you what,
This is the-
Rusev,
this
for a
is
big
the-
guy, can really fucking jump.
This is the way
he-
Titus should have been booked in any feud that he's been in. He needs to have better booking of because he is an athlete.
I loved how at the end he was like, Rusev walks up to his kids and he was like, yeah, you see your dad is a loser.
But he lost
Like,
his
look at
accent.
your-
When he
Happy
spoke to the
Father's
kids, he
Day.
lost his accent.
He loses it all the time. He loses it because he's so put on. Do you remember when they were like talking, like interviewed him before the Kalisto match, and they was asking him about how he feels about cameras being in his house, and he was like, "Oh, dude, there's already cameras in my house, if you know what I mean, for recording certain activities, if you know what I mean." And Lana was like looking at him as if to say, "You bastard."
We want to see them, Russo.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be looking online for those videos now.
Come on, Lana.
All right, so we're moving on. And I gave 3 options to everyone. I gave Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, or neither, saying that Dean would cash in inside the match.
Yeah.
And you both chose neither, so you guys thought Dean was actually going to cash in inside of the match.
We did, yeah.
And I picked Roman Reigns, which,
yeah.
God, every bone in my body didn't want to pick him, but I did, and it was wrong. But anyway, so we get to the world title match, and it didn't disappoint.
No,
it was a good match. I thought Reigns was actually pretty good.
Yeah, this was my match of the night, personally. Like, I loved the story. It was really strange because the match played out very differently to how the booking would like it to play out. Like, Roman Reigns was playing the very traditional heel in the match, and Seth was playing the traditional face. Yeah, it was great. Roman's fighting style and how he sort of acts in the ring is very heelish, like the headbutts and the big shots and the smack talking all the time. And Seth was very much on the receiving end for the first 15 minutes.
I loved Roman's jackknife powerbomb.
Mate, that move he does.
That should be his finisher.
Razor's Edge.
The Razor's Edge powerbomb. Yeah.
That should be one of his finishes. Yeah,
definitely.
Because it is a finish move. It needs to pin someone. I don't think it's ever pinned it, and it's ridiculous. It should do. It was great, but I mean the big highlight, which should have been the finish to the match,
the mid-air pedigree,
was the big. I have never Triple H in his prime.
Could not have done that.
No.
Against Goldberg, he could not have done that.
That was fucking... And kudos to Reigns, because he sold the fall as well. Like, it took some skill on his part for the move to be pulled off.
Are you... Lee, let me stop you mid-sentence there. Are you praising Roman Reigns right now?
Look, listen.
He's getting ready.
He is.
Listen, I don't just hate people blindly. But that move.
No, credit where credit is due, and to be able to sell that spot.
Reigns put on a hell of a match.
He did.
It was good.
I mean, we keep telling you, Lee, go back and rewatch the Triple H Roman Reigns without volume.
I refuse.
Do it without volume.
Do it without volume.
The match was good if you don't hear the boos.
Reigns carried Triple H. Reigns carried Triple H.
I'm not fucking watching. I don't even like Triple H, right? I'm not even watching Triple H and fucking Reigns fight for half an hour. No. Fucking no.
We should have
put... I'm not doing it. It's like 2 minutes.
I'm not doing it. I refuse. The only good part
we should have added that into the bet, Lee.
We should have added that into the bet.
Yeah. That he has to watch it. Live stream him watching it, wearing the Roman Reigns t-shirt.
No. Fucking no. Bullshit.
I'll take a picture of the shirt you're gonna wear, okay?
Yeah, this was a cool match.
He's about to cry.
I was shocked that Seth beat him clean. I really wasn't expecting.
That was like.
I marked out the fact that he beat him clean.
We get the clean pin, and we had Rollins was a little skittish doing the little front flip thing going into the powerbomb.
Yeah.
Because that's where he broke his leg.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first one, he was skittish, and he was like, okay, let me shimmy down. Then the second one, he was like, okay, I got this, and he did a straight flip.
Yeah.
It was a clean win over Roman, but was really nice to see.
It surprised me.
I mean, he even kicked out of a spear, and I think it's the first person to have kicked out of a Roman spear.
AJ did.
Oh yeah, AJ did. Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Really?
Roman hit him with 3 spears in that match. 1 outside the ring and 2 inside the ring.
Yeah, he did. Okay, so we get to the end. Rollins wins, and bam, Dean comes right out.
Yeah.
Oh man!
At first, I thought
we all knew it was gonna happen,
Yeah.
but I was still marking out because
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
"Holy shit, they're gonna make him champion!" Because if you
There
remember
was like
last,
a delay. It didn't happen straight away. And me and Sarah
Yeah.
were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it!" Because
yeah,
Steph's music hits, and it's like, "Oh okay." And then once Dean's music hits, it was over. Like we knew.
at first I thought he was going to tease it because the way that he came down to the ring and the way that he was just outside the ring talking to the ref. I thought he was just teasing it, and then he handed in the briefcase and was like, "I'm cashing in." I was like, "Yeah, I'd knock the fuck out then."
yeah. So you remember last year's Money in the Bank, right?
Yeah,
Where he faced Seth Rollins and he like almost got the win.
yeah,
Where he held the belt for a second and the crowd popped.
yeah.
That's what I was wanting to see, and it didn't disappoint. This crowd went freaking batshit crazy when he won. Like
Yeah.
I was very impressed with the crowd when he got the title.
Yeah, he's over no matter what. Alright, it might have fizzled out over the last couple of months, but it doesn't matter because he was over anyway. So the moment that they give him the title and the fact that he cashed in on Rollins, which obviously gives a lot of Shield fans the best satisfaction ever, knowing that
Yep.
he's fucked over Rollins the same way that Rollins fucked over Reigns and Ambrose by breaking up the Shield, you know, and that gives people a lot of closure. Everyone gets their Shield triple threat now, which all the Shield fans wanted. I've wanted it, but I wanted it a year ago. But obviously Seth's injury played into that and other things. I wanted it at Mania this year, and yeah, it didn't happen, but it's going to happen now, and I'm quite excited for it because those three have got tremendous chemistry.
Yeah. So this pay-per-view ends, and our first pay-per-view bet was Lee ends with 6-6. Me and you were tied at 4-4. Simon, 8-4.
8-4. Yeah.
Yeah, 8-4.
Yeah.
So Lee, you got a low ground to make up for the next one.
I'm sure I will. Hopefully.
Watch, he goes another 2 down on the next one.
Yep. It's gonna be a whole pay-per-view.
Pay-per-views between now and for the next 6 months. Yeah.
Okay, so that is the Money in the Bank portion of this, and now we're going to lead into Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, which it was a good Monday Night Raw, but then most Raws the night after a pay-per-view are usually pretty good, as standard anyway. So
earlier in the day, we get the news that there will be an actual draft on the 19th.
Which we will be doing a special on. We will be over the next couple of weeks. We will be doing a draft special on who we think's going to go where, and potential.
Well, I already have our guest too. Our guest is going to be Jackie from the wrestling community.
Cool.
So.
Yeah. So
it's nice to have an official date anyway.
Yeah.
But it was always going to be that date anyway, I think. Just because it will get more viewers on the live SmackDown than it would do if it went on the Monday Night Raw.
I didn't think it was going to be the date of the live show.
Okay,
Yeah.
So the show starts off, Dean arrives in the cab and almost forgets the title in the cab.
Yeah, because he's
and
got
I thought that was absolutely amazing.
He's got out of the cab so many times without the title that, yeah, it plays into his character as well, because, like, oh shit, I'm actually champ now, I better grab that. Like,
yeah. And he's kind of the crazy guy. So
you can sort of imagine him ringing Vince, can't you? And Vince is like, "What do you want? Damn it!" And he's like, "Okay, sorry, Vince, but I've left the fucking belt in the taxi and it's gone." You can just imagine that.
I went out Vegas last night and I didn't have any cash, so I bet the title. You could see him doing something like that, and yeah, it was funny. But, yeah.
All right, so the show starts off with Dean. Dean comes out. The chants are going crazy.
You
Massive
deserve
pop.
it. You deserve it. Yeah.
He talks for a second. Roman Reigns comes down. gets booed out of the building.
And
I think they
cut-
edited some too, and you can still hear
I
the
wanted to
booing.
say before about the Money in the Bank. Me and Lee spoke about it. I forgot just quickly about obviously Roman Reigns coming out. The edit, they made the crowd deadly silent in Money in the Bank when Roman came out because of the boos.
They always edit his noises now.
And
All the time they edit his entrance.
They did exactly the same thing last night on Monday Night Raw. They did, as soon as he came out, you could hear it because everyone went boo, and then it just fizzled out straight away.
Yep.
And
then I wanted to pinpoint a couple things out. The fans started to chant "You can't wrestle," and then some would chant "Yes, you can." I thought that was pretty funny. And then there was a sign that was right there on the TV that said, "Roman Reigns enjoys soccer."
Yeah.
Really? I wonder who he supports.
I started laughing because in America, soccer is kind of it's second fiddle to everything. We don't pay attention to soccer unless it's the World Cup.
Yeah, because Americans only watch American sports. That's why.
Yeah, it's National Football League, the NBA, hockey, baseball, etc.
The rest of the world doesn't matter to America.
Yeah.
Only America.
Pretty much. But so the sign was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because they're just mocking Roman Reigns, and I just wanted to pinpoint that out. I thought that was funny. And so then Seth Rollins comes out.
I did think it was interesting that Roman would come out first because your initial reaction is, well, you don't have a claim above Seth. Seth beat you clean. So what the hell are you doing out here at the moment?
And that's when Seth came out. That's what Seth pinpointed.
But before that, when it was just Ambrose and Reigns did something very heelish, where he turned around to the crowd and told them to shut up.
He's always acting heelish. Yeah, he's always acting heelish. He should have told them to shut up fucking months ago, to be honest.
But when he said,
really?
I can't remember exactly what he said, but he turned around and said,
"Those who are chanting I can't wrestle can just shut up."
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, he should have told them to shut the fuck up ages ago. That's how you get over.
I've got a feeling that the suspension and everything is going to play into his turn because it is coming, and it's coming big.
Yeah, it's coming, mate. It's coming. It has to come because
and it needs
the shittest face in the history of the company.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to be a heel. I'd probably like him if he was a heel.
Yeah. His character fits a heel so much better. But yeah, like you say, then Rollins comes down, says, "You don't have a claim, I beat you clean."
Which he did.
Which he did, yeah. But he does technically have a claim because he still has a rematch clause against
Rollins has really won me over on the pedigree. Like, I never liked him doing the pedigree before, but he's really starting to win me over right now because he does it very well, to be fair.
He does it better than Triple H.
I mean, he didn't used to, but since his injury, he seems to get... Now he's a bit bigger. He gets serious height on that pedigree. Like, when he takes off from hooking the arms, he gets more height than Triple H did.
Yeah.
And it's just really, really good. I'd like to see him do the Phoenix Splash as a finisher as well. But he's not really doing it at the minute. He's doing the Frog Splash instead. But even this Frog Splash is like Eddie Guerrero standard frog Splash.
Yeah.
So is Kevin Owens, though.
The Bullfrog Splash. Yeah, but Kevin Owens does everything good.
Yeah. So then Shane McMahon comes out, and he kind of nonchalantly mentions the draft.
Yeah.
Like it was no big deal. And I was thinking in my head, I'm like, if you didn't watch Money in the Bank, or if you don't pay attention on Twitter, you don't know the draft is coming. You just heard about the brand extension.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, I figured that would have been a bigger...
Mm-hmm.
A bigger thing that they would have mentioned, but they didn't.
No.
It was just kind of like, eh.
And there was no story behind it.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, you just woke up one day and it was like on your phone. Oh, brand split, draft happening.
But later on, they did make Michael Cole and JBL made a big deal about it on social media and stuff. So I can kind of see why. Obviously, he had the main event for Battleground to think about and all the rest of it. So he just plugged it quickly, and then obviously went on to say about the number one contenders match for the main event
he announces the number one contender match.
Yeah.
Reigns versus Rollins.
Yeah.
And I think we're all kind of hyped up for that because they put on such a good match the night before.
Yeah,
Well, we knew
was
it was
pretty
going to. I mean, it was pretty predictable that it was going to end in a fashion which dictated a draw in order to set up the triple threat. Like, that's the first thing I thought. Okay, well, this is going to end like a DQ or a double count out or something. Like, because it was the need to set up the triple threat.
We'll talk about that later, but I think the Ambrose commentary, I thought he was going to get involved somehow. So
exactly
the way he was the way his commentary was going on the main event, I thought, and the way he was getting himself all pumped up, I thought he was going to interfere somehow. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. But,
Right,
what's up with JBL though?
Yeah, was he more face this week?
Terrible.
JBL, Ramos runs in, does the dirty deed on Reigns, and he calls it the pedigree.
Oh my god.
He just said the wrong name. He just said the wrong name.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's the worst commentator ever.
He's taken that move a bunch of times himself. How does he, just stupid.
Maybe
he told wrestlers the wrong. I mean, he's just terrible on commentary.
Maybe he was drunk
He's
again.
awful over there.
Maybe he was drunk again.
Not.
I don't know.
But Michael Cole's getting too old where he barely does anything. This new guy, Brian Saxon, doesn't have barely any history.
Amaro, dude. Amaro's a beast. I don't care what anyone says. That dude is the best commentator they have right now.
Yeah, it's always really disheartening when he's on the pre-show matches and then the main show starts.
Yep.
And suddenly
and then you're like, oh,
and JBL. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, he's going to do SmackDown, isn't he? So
yeah,
I can't wait for
that. So we're gonna move on. We got Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, and they both are banged up.
Awesome match as usual.
Kevin Owens, man, could barely freaking walk down the freaking aisle.
Right.
I think he was playing.
I believe he got hurt on that spine, that Michinoku driver. I believe that, like,
well, I mean, if it didn't fucking hurt him, then he ain't human, is he? Because
exactly.
I'm sore watching it.
Cringe.
It was bad. I was in shock that even happened.
But this match.
It made for a memorable spot, though.
Yeah, this match was great, though. Every match they have is awesome. Even if they are both banged up.
I love that they set it up like this was going to end the feud, and it actually just ignited the feud even more. I love that angle.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is you think this feud is going to end, and it's not. I don't know if you guys remember playing the video games back in the day.
Yeah.
When they had GM mode.
Yeah,
when they had the GM mode, and you would have your rivalry go on for 12 weeks. That's the type of rivalry this is, dude. And it's not, getting boring.
This isn't going to end.
How can it be boring?
This isn't going to end in 3 weeks, 6 weeks. This is going to end in 6 years. Do you know what I mean? This is This is going to be the Rock and Stone Cold of this generation.
It doesn't get boring because
No.
it works so well.
No.
These two.
It's going to be that. It's going to be that feud where they love to hate each other.
Yep.
It's obviously it's not going to be that.
I think they'll split them up in the brand split.
I don't.
Just to
Why?
I'm not saying I want them to. I just think that they will.
That'd be stupid. It'd be stupid.
I think give them both something else.
Yes, they're like you too.
Yeah, it'd be stupid to split them up.
So then they brawl after the match, which was a really good match.
Great.
Which was fun.
And even after the adverts, they were still brawling.
Yeah, and they were brawling out. Did anyone notice Finlay as well?
Yep, Finlay and Road Dogg.
Yeah, dragged Sami Zayn away. It was quite weird. No one mentioned that They mentioned that. I can't remember where they mentioned, but they didn't mention that Finlay was there, which I thought was a bit weird.
Yep. No, he's been there for a long time. He's been behind the scenes.
Yeah, so he doesn't care about the notoriety.
No, yeah, true.
He does not care at all.
The
Jake.
Go on.
What's that?
You go on.
What's up, Dan?
Oh, I said he's been there, then they just give him the notoriety, but it's usually JBL that does it because, the older, he recognizes the older generation. But Jamie Noble, they're still there. They're all there. They just don't want to be on camera anymore because they would be like, there's J&J Security again. So there's a lot of guys that are back there that you're not seeing. Billy Kidman's back there. I mean, he looks like he's gained about 200 pounds, but he's back there. And
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys back there.
So then we got the little draft thing with Big John He comes out, goes to the SmackDown side.
God.
John Laryngitis.
Yeah. Which was it was a funny little spot, and Shane comes out and he's like, "Dude, come here. Let's talk about this. Come here."
People
and then he's like, "Yeah, you run SmackDown." Then he goes over and it's like, "I'll run Raw." And yeah, so that happens.
Yeah.
And then Enzo and Cass come out, and
John
Enzo and Shane. Yeah, Enzo has this little thing with Shane where they compare the shoes and they do the little dance thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty tight.
It was.
Yeah. I love it every time they come out.
I love the music.
Yeah.
And I say their parts every time they come out, just like New Day.
Yeah,
both those tag teams to me are like.
I mean, Cass still speaks like he's reading off of a.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he only has like 4 lines, so.
Yep.
He talks
he just always talks really slow.
Yeah, he talks like he's a member of the slow school.
Yeah, it's really weird that he did.
He's got 4 lines, and Cass has got 5 letters. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillains. This was a squash match. Extremely.
It was a squash match.
It was. Yeah.
I mean, it was. Wouldn't you tag Cass?
This was burying the Vaudevillains. Like that. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
It was. It definitely.
Well, Vince isn't very big on the Vaudevillains anyway, is he?
No.
He does
but they're
not
gonna get the Dudley Boy treatment. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll just be they'll be there for people that come up.
Well, I mean, look, when you've got an entire sold out venue, and not one person in the stadium can make so much as a whimper when vaudevillains come out.
They did that money in the bank. They came out.
Yeah,
and it was silent.
and it's like I said to you, Simon. It's because people don't dislike them, but they don't like them either, and they're not sure what to really do when they come out. They're not sure whether to boo or to cheer or what the hell to do.
What did you say,
it's so different.
Yeah, it's confusing because they're trying to push this new era, but they're a bygone era, which doesn't make sense. It's like new people trying to do old stuff. It's confusing.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of know how to react to them. When
they need that guy to be their manager.
Yeah,
the guy that does,
weeks ago.
Yeah,
that guy who comes out and goes, "Ladies and on the video, needs to be there for. They need something that they can't just come out like this because it's. I don't even know.
We spoke about it
them.
before, didn't we, Gabe? And where it worked in a small arena like NXT, where there's a couple of hundred people. Where there's a couple of hundred people, but you go to a big arena where there's 17,000 people.
Nah,
and it just doesn't get a reaction. Money in the Bank.
Well, it's like Apollo Crews. They're gonna push the hell out of Apollo Crews. He has rockets under his ass.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna get over. It's gonna be a Roman Reigns situation
again. Because he doesn't have a fucking character. He doesn't have a character in the game. Look, this isn't a sport, okay, where you can just get by on being talented and athletic. This is a show. It's a pantomime. You need a gimmick. You need a character that fans and crowds can connect with. Even Apollo doesn't know what his character is. So if he doesn't fucking know, how the hell are we supposed to know? So it can't go anywhere until he figures out who the hell Apollo Crews is.
I know who he is. He's the black guy.
He just comes out smiling all the time. Like
it's Terry Crews' cousin. That's who he is.
Dude, it's like he's in a mouthwash commercial or a toothpaste commercial. All he does is smile all the time. This is all his character does. Even when Sheamus first put that beat down on him, he just turned up 2 minutes later, smiling and walking down to the ring like not what even happened. It needs to figure out, and this is what NXT is for. This is what developmental is for. Is for people to sort of figure out what their gimmick is. So why is he on the main roster? He's not ready yet. He should still be in NXT figuring out who the hell Apollo Crews is. Because at the minute, he even admitted on the Jericho podcast that he doesn't know, what his character's supposed to be yet. He's not too sure. It's like, well, what are you doing on the main? What the hell are you doing on the main card at Money in the Bank then?
Right, pretty much.
See, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on from the tag team thing, and AJ Styles comes down.
Yeah.
Oh man, this was so funny.
It was hilarious.
It was like this whole thing was great. This whole you need to come down and apologize. I can't do the fucking stupid accent. but you need to come down and apologise. That was fucking so funny how he tried to flip it like, well, I didn't know and you guys are making me look bad. You need to apologise. If I'm ever going to win a world title, I need you to apologise. It was great. And then he called John Cena out and he was like, come on now, apologise. And it was so funny.
It was funny. It was a good little spot, and Cena
Your British redneck is cracking me up.
Your British redneck is cracking me up.
Look, it's a fucking hard accent to do, right?
So with your accent, trying to do that accent, it's almost impossible. Man.
Exactly.
Hey, you give it a shot though, Lee.
Thank you.
It was a good spot, but Cena made AJ's bitch
I didn't
again.
think Cena would come out though.
I don't know. I loved the whole it was very how he was gesturing when they apologized, and it was like, see, he's apologized, and it was like, he's sorry, John, he's sorry, and it's just that was fucking gold. Cena actually looked.
I'm just laughing at you now, Lee.
Cena was saying actually seemed a bit out of place because he was like, the narrative that AJ was spinning was, well, I didn't tell them to come down. I'll fight you. They just appeared. I've made them apologise, John. What do you want me to do? And he was like, no, you're a bitch. You brought them down anyway. It was a bit weird and out of place, but the whole apologise thing was probably my highlight of the night. It was really funny. The way they was looking at him when he was making them apologise. I was like, okay, AJ, I'm sorry. It was really funny. I loved it.
Yeah, and so that leads into Cena versus Carl Anderson,
which he absolutely fucking.
They put on a good match.
He destroyed.
No, they didn't. Anderson.
No, I thought Carl Anderson sold everything Cena did to him.
It did, but not a good match. It was a a good ass kicking.
It was a good ass kicking, but
he sold an ass whooping. That's all he did.
Yeah, completely sold the ass kicking. Yeah, I mean, he was good. I didn't get one offensive move in, but he was all.
That was the point, though. That was the whole point of it.
Yeah.
It was there to beat him up, and then when Cena's just literally about to pick up the win, they come back down and beat him up. It was the whole. It was all the whole spot, the whole 25-minute spot or whatever it was.
Anything else? He wasn't going to go against AJ. Of course, they're not going to have a Cena versus AJ that night. They're not going to put him through versus Gallows because that would be boring as hell. Because Gallows can't do much. I mean, it was the only thing they could do.
All he can do is the big boot. That's all he can do.
And stick his tongue out and look like Festus. I'm
That
never gonna.
was the only common sense. I mean, we all knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah.
We knew they were going to come down and jump in. Cena. I mean, when a wrestler says what's going to happen before it happens, and then it happens, it's just it kind of diminishes the whole thing.
Yeah. It was it was a very obvious spot that it was all going to happen that way.
Right.
Every time there's a bit with the club though, I'm always hoping either Balor comes out to help someone against them or comes out.
Dude, how long can they keep calling them the fucking club? They need a new name. You can't just.
Cena's pushing for the bullet.
You can't just call a stable the club. It sounds like some sort of
sandwich
midday club for kids under 5. Oh, we're all going to the club today for kids. It's gonna be great. Come on, fucking hell. The club, really?
The club sandwich. That's all
The family.
Yeah.
The fucking club.
I don't know if you guys had that out there, but we would think it's called the club. It was popular back in the 90s. It was something you put over your steering wheel so people wouldn't steal your car.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Every time they say the club, I think of some old lady locking her car with this stupid thing, putting a
It's just such a lame name. I mean, you'd never buy merchandise that just said the club on it, would you? Ugh, it's so bad.
Okay, so we'll move on. Seth Rollins has his little promo backstage.
Yeah.
His little interview.
His crying little bitch interview, you mean?
Yeah, that's all it was.
That's all it was. He's just a whiny heel, but he does it so well. He's such a whiny little bitch.
Look, when you're pedigreeing people midair, right? You can be as whiny and bitchy as you like. when you're pulling shit like that.
You get a pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
I'd rather him be curb stopping, but oh well.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the curb stop.
I'd rather have the curb
yeah,
stop.
they're never bringing that shit back, so that's not gonna happen.
All right, we'll move on. Then we have the Becky Lynch interview, which was pretty much a poor Becky interview.
Yeah, Natty beats her up.
And then Natty attacks her.
Yeah.
That she uses her name as a gimmick and says, "Oh, it's time for a change of heart." What a dumbass! I mean, come on, seriously.
Yeah.
I need to look out for me and blah 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 and all this other stuff. She has been looking out for herself. I mean, what the hell?
Next week she's going to join Charlotte, so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on. Not enough said on that.
There's not much more you can say.
Yeah. Baron Corbin versus Zack Ryder.
Squash again.
Oh god, I mean, what was the point?
Why does that guy still wrestle for that company? I mean, I have no. If they were like, okay, we're gonna make you look like a little bitch every time you wrestle. Okay, I'll do it as long as the money's there. I'll do it. You know, I mean, when do you just move on?
I mean, you know, it had been sort of like just rebuilding himself in NXT, in sort of like a tag team. So, but yeah, I don't know. You think he's just leaving?
AJ mentioned something about this similar in the podcast. I don't know how many people have watched it with Stone Cold, but he mentioned something about when he was in TNA and it was coming towards the end of his TNA reign, and he was started. They when Dixie Carter came in, and they started getting all the big names like Kurt Angle and Christian and all these big names came over. And he was saying that how he didn't feel like he was getting the big spots, and he felt that, and everyone else in the company felt he should be getting the big spots, and he wasn't. And then that's when he moved to Ring of Honor. And so obviously,
I think pay cut as well.
I know Zack Ryder is nowhere near the caliber of AJ, but picking up what you said, Dan, like if that was me, I'd be like, well, I've had good feuds. I'm a good wrestler. I'm not exactly. I'm not fucking Heath Slater.
I'd be like Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Again, like Cody Rhodes, I'd leave. Like, I'm not getting booked like an idiot. Right, you give me a nostalgia moment at WrestleMania. You make me lose it the next night for no.
Yeah, it was so shitty what they did there. Like, I actually said to my brother at WrestleMania, I said, you know, they'll take this off him at Raw.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I was really hoping that I was wrong, but they did.
There was a few years ago when Zack was US champion and he had that feud with Kane and Cena, and obviously Cena was. They were trying to put him over then, and he had a big run, and he was when he first came in and he was really high. He was over, and Cena was trying to push him and everything, and then it just dropped, and they never really put him into anything again. So, and for the last 6 years now, he's just had nothing. And if that was me, I'd be like, no, I'm gone. I can't be dealing with it. I'm not a bad wrestler. I'll go to Ring of Honor.
Well, look at him now.
Because he isn't shit, is he? You know.
No, he's not.
He's wrestling. Rhodes is wrestling Justin Liger, and then he's going to wrestle Kurt Angle. Yeah. I mean, he went from being the Starburst bullshit. Now he's actually getting the matches that he wants.
Well, Cody Rhodes is a great wrestler, I think.
Fantastic wrestler.
And it's frustrating that the WWE have these people, especially Cody Rhodes, who has a name, his family has a name in the business, and everything else. And I think the way they've treated him is just disgusting. Like,
yeah.
He had so much going for him.
I think some of that you got to put the blame on Goldust, though.
Why would you say that?
Because like of all the stuff that he's pulled in his earlier days, they're kind of just caught in the family. Just kind of it's kind of like the sins of the brother. You know, they're kind of like, well, your brother was okay as a serious wrestler, but he was more better as a gimmicky wrestler. So let's make you more of a gimmicky comic relief instead of the serious wrestler that you want to be.
Yeah.
That's just why they would never let him go back to being, Cody Rhodes again. I mean, they wanted him to stay in that Stardust mode and stay in that old dress up, and he didn't want to do it anymore. I mean, why?
Yeah, why would you want to do it?
I mean, if you're a joke, why would you want to stay there and be a joke? I mean, he wasn't even wrestling; he was just doing promos, and he's like, why would I spend all this time working out, working on my moves just to be a promo person every week?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's just it's bad management.
All right.
Yeah, now, and I'll say this, and I'll wrap up. Now he can go face the guys that he wants, and then when WWE sees him as a serious wrestler again, maybe he comes back and maybe they say, hey, maybe you're championship material. So I don't think it's the last we've heard of him.
No.
Agreed.
Cody will be back. I mean, they need people back for the brand split, don't they?
He'll be back. Give it 2 or 3 years.
He'll be back in a year or two.
Yeah.
They're calling everybody from Jeff Hardy.
They're calling everybody back.
Dude, and how about Kurt Angle? And they've already said that they want Kurt Angle to bring up American Alpha.
Kurt Angle must have signed a contract with WWE because he was at that event and he had his WWE entrance music, which is copyrighted and under the copyright he can only use it if he is under a WWE contract.
This is all true. You can't use that music. It's owned by WWE.
But him bringing up American Alpha, that's a perfect way to bring those guys up.
I think that's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So, and then you bring those guys up and you have them run for 6-7 months on SmackDown with Angle.
Yeah.
And then you have them break off and you make Jordan into a star.
Jordan will be a star.
Yeah, I don't think Gable will, but you make Jordan into a star. So, it leads perfect.
Yeah. And Jeff Hardy's just Jeff Hardy.
Wait, what, Dan?
Is that turned into the world's greatest tag team part 2 or what?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but those two, Gable and Jordan, I think are absolutely phenomenal.
Yep.
In the ring, they are fantastic.
So we'll move on. They did the little China promotion from Shanghai.
Yeah.
Showing clips of that and Cena speak in perfect Mandarin.
Yeah.
Isn't that dude like the all around just kind of like
Is there nothing that man cannot do?
I wanted subtitles. I don't know what the hell he said. I watched the whole damn speech in Mandarin, but I had no clue what he said.
We had subtitles. I had subtitles.
Well, we didn't.
yeah, we didn't. But he freaking
TV.
He's
amazing.
Subtitles
for everything.
Because he puts his mind to something for like a month, and bam, he can do it.
Yeah.
He can speak like 8 different languages, though.
That's his army training.
You've heard him speak French. You've heard him speak Spanish. You've heard him. I mean, he can speak a lot.
Yeah. All right, so we'll move on from that, and then we had the Wyatt spot, just the little like 15-second little clip.
This was really cool. Yeah. He was kind of teasing it all right. It was funny how it was just sort of. I think the Wyatt return needed to be more of like a surprise thing at a show rather than just being. Oh yeah, guess what? Wyatt's just coming back tonight. It was like, oh really? You know?
But he was talking different than he usually does. Like it felt different. He was talking about like yeah, dude, he is fit, and I think that's gonna prime him for a title run.
But the interesting thing with that segment, the interesting thing about that segment is that how it kind of made you seem like I don't know, it was probably just me. You know, the belts are on Kofi and Big E, and like how they had Xavier kind of go away and kind of like was out of the
we'll go into that in a second when we get to that segment.
The Wyatt Jedi mind trick.
Yeah. We'll go in that when it comes up. All right, so Lisa next, the little Paige promo that she had before her title match.
Yeah, standard Paige.
Yeah, with kind of like a pointless thing with Charlotte and Dana.
Yeah.
It felt pointless.
It was.
That kind of.
Go on.
Wait, what's up, Dan?
The end of that match sucked because she was near the middle of the ring, and then she walks over to the rope and then does the rampage.
Yeah, you saw that too.
That's a mile away. Yeah. And then Dana Brooks screws it up and puts her foot underneath the rope, like an idiot, and then tries to push it up. I mean, it was just a bad ending.
Well, under the rope still
it
counts.
It was a bullshit ending.
But...
Yeah,
she's like pushing it up, trying to get it.
It was a bit of a botch, so you could see she really meant to put it over, and she couldn't.
But the walk over to the ropes with the rampage, that was really bad, yeah.
But the highlight of that was Sasha Banks.
Yes.
Coming out. And boy, oh boy, is it good to see her back.
Did she get a pop or did she get a pop?
Yes, she got a fucking pop, dude. I wanted to pinpoint this out real quick. The TWC group we're a part of, did you guys see that post about that guy with that guy, and he's like, you can put pig on a makeup, but a pig's still a pig.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And it had a picture of Sasha without makeup, and then Sasha with makeup. Oh my god, dude. I don't know why, but that made me laugh really fucking loud in my house, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell? I just wanted to pinpoint that out from our wrestling group that we're a part of.
Yeah, I thought the picture was pretty funny, but her coming back has definitely made the women's division look exciting for the first time in 2 months.
3 months, dude. Shit. We've had that Natty Charlotte shit for 3 months,
we've had
dude.
that 3 pay-per-view, yeah. I'm happy to see her back, and I can't wait for her to take the title. We all know it's coming. Maybe not a Battleground, but definitely at SummerSlam.
Yep. So then we had the Roman Reigns promo, and he really needs to drop the guy shit.
He just needs to drop going on the mic altogether, mate. To be honest, his mic skills are getting worse.
You should just get fired.
He's reading straight up a script. He won't have him at all.
We've said this before. Like, he doesn't have any emotion or passion or believability in his voice. It's just, I mean, like, so Roman, what do you feel about losing to Seth Rollins? All I know is I'm the guy that's gonna beat Seth Rollins tonight. It's like, oh, fuck off, Roman. Fuck off. It's just,
is that your best Roman impression?
That is the best I've got for Roman, yeah.
I can't wait till you're supporting Roman Reigns.
Mate, it's not gonna happen.
It is.
We should give you that shirt, and then we should give you the RVD, the hands that point to yourself, so you can just be like, I'm the guy with the big head.
So it's just literally not gonna happen.
Alright, so we'll move on from this garbage ass promo.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Wyatt family. This was my highlight of the night.
Yes.
They come out. Bray Wyatt looks freaking fit as hell, dude.
Yeah.
The dude looks primed. He's ready to go. They added ears, like furry ears, to Eric Rowan's mask.
They also added the weird, like the veins and everything to it as well.
Oh yeah.
It was really cool.
So they start talking, and everyone's enthralled in everything they're saying. And then, dude, shocked the hell out of me that New Day came out.
Yeah,
I was
expecting New Day.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And, yeah, so they come out, and, they do their typical stuff, which I love,
I love New Day.
And right when they're supposed to do the WWE Tag Team Champions, Xavier Woods doesn't do it. He's kind of staring off into space.
He just goes all, like, weird, like, goes into, like, a trance. Now, I love it when WWE goes all over the top like this and gives people special abilities. I just enjoy it. So, yeah, it's almost like Bray Wyatt had him in some sort of fucking mind control or trance or something. The way he just, like, looked at Wyatt and started walking forwards. It was really... Xavier did a really good job of acting there, because it looked believable. Like, it was like, oh, fuck yeah.
What if they make Woods a new member of the Wyatt family?
I think he turned.
I think he'll turn on the New Day, yeah. I definitely think that's going to happen.
That's going to be freaking awesome. All I know is I was freaking out during this segment, because it's my two favorite factions. So...
But what? Xavier Woods in the Wyatt family? Really?
Hey, man.
Why the hell not, man?
They brought Daniel Bryan in.
Well, they tried to,
small, short guy. He's not big and bulky like all the rest of them.
Yeah.
They need to bring Bo Dallas
like
in.
From the woods.
We know it's his brother anyway in real life, so they need to bring fucking
Bo Dallas.
Definitely need to bring Bo Dallas in there.
Lee Kruger.
Yeah.
He can do the boat train with the Wyatt family. Think about how epic that would be.
Did anyone else feel the Wyatts were more... I know they've been trying to turn them face, but more face with what Wyatt was saying? Like...
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, New Day...
It kind of was.
Didn't sound very basic.
It didn't feel very very heelish the way he was speaking.
I
I
don't
told you,
know,
I'm
man.
warning you guys, man. I said it.
I
I've been saying it for
disagree, you know.
weeks.
Like,
They're turning them face, and
look,
nobody's believing me.
Look, they came out and spoke to the crowd a bit. New Day came out.
Yeah, but
then
that's
the reaction to
completely
New Day
against what Wyatt does. He doesn't accept what the crowd have said
Yeah, but
when
his
he was
reaction,
heel.
look,
He reacts
his reaction to New Day
it.
coming out was to mind control Xavier before then saying New Day falls. So I don't think it wasn't very fair, at least in my eyes. But his character, the whole Wyatt, look, we've said this before, the type of people you see in cheap slasher movies when someone takes a wrong turn in the woods and ends up face to face with some inbred hillbilly.
Yeah, but Braun
You know-
Strowman was clapping. New
It was
Day
in the
falls. New
yeah.
Day falls, and Strowman was clapping. Like that's not.
But look,
that's
New,
not
but
very
look,
heelish.
but look,
And that's
New
not-
New Day are
that's not
face. So
Wyatt
they're
family.
gonna New Day are face. and they're going to feud with New Day, so they are the heels in that story.
This is going to be awesome. This is all I know is this is going to be a 5-star feud.
They
I'm
need
telling you,
goals
dude.
around the waist of the Wyatts, though. That's the one thing they've been missing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move on. We have the really, really sexy Lana in black.
Oh, she's
Introducing-
amazing, isn't she?
Dude, every week she shocks me on how hot she is.
Rusev is a fucking lucky man,
Lucky
Yep.
bastard.
and not just because he's a gifted athlete, but he goes home and he gets to bang that.
He used to bang fucking.
She's got to go home in the shower and shave because he's so freaking hairy.
But so she introduces Rusev, her fiance,
Yeah.
and Rusev comes out. You have the little Titus promo after Rusev comes out, which was a little
Oh mate,
weird.
I love
how
this. I love this.
they
spot.
did that.
I
But
love this. spot.
they normally do the promo before the first person comes out.
Yeah.
So that kind of threw me off. I was like, what the hell was this? And it was a brawl. It wasn't a match.
Titus destroyed him. And let me just say this now. No, you guys can go on about Rusev. That Titus was fucking awesome. He made Rusev look like he fucking threw Rusev around like a baby.
Well, look, he can do it all he wants, but he's never going to win a match over.
No.
He's never going to
I
win.
didn't say he was
Yeah,
going to win. I
Rusev's
didn't
gonna
say
make
he's
him
not going
tap
to win.
out,
He's
so.
not going to win the feud, and he's not. It won't happen. But to come out and do that and be as passionate about what he's actually doing, not just because he wants to hurt Rusev, but because he wants to impress as well. He wants to get Rusev back for pandering to his family and everything he said. Now that Titus is something I've wanted for a long time, because I don't know what it is about him, but I want him to succeed. And he's not going to win the feud, no, but in even losing the feud, he's going to get something out of it. He's going to get the fans back on side. He's going to get himself over a little bit, as long as they can keep him like that and they're not just going to use him to get Rusev over even more. I hope they can get Titus from this feud and make him into something, because he can be a champion, whether or not it won't be the WWE champion, but he can quite easily, as this dominant monster that he can be a mid-card champion. And especially with the brand split, they're going to need more people to be mid-card champions, and he can definitely do
Yeah,
that.
they could put the U.S. title on him.
Yeah,
They
quite
could throw
easily.
the U.S. title on him.
I've wanted this for a long time, but he made Rusev look not weak, but beatable.
Yeah.
And not many
so-
superstars can do that.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be another match between Rusev and Titus. I think there is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there will
Yeah,
be. There
okay.
will be. I just hope they don't do what they
I
did with
call
Swagger.
that Titus wins by disqualification, and they have a third one.
Yeah, probably at
This
SummerSlam.
can't go to SummerSlam. I don't want to see Titus and Rusev at SummerSlam.
Yeah. All right. So we move on. The Miz has his little Facebook report
Oh, fuck
from
the
the
Miz.
set of the Marine 5.
This was
Why?
a news saying that this
Yeah,
was a news
why?
saying how everyone on the set is like family, and then speaks to the guy like shit.
I loved it, and I loved how everyone looked at him. Like he had like 40 people looking at him.
The sooner he gets back on telly and loses a title, the better.
I just don't understand why they had him win the title, retain the title of the Fatal 4-Way, if then he's going to go film the Marine and never be on TV.
Because
that
it
match would have
his
been lost on the card on Money in the Bank, even if he was there.
Yeah.
That's not a good reason.
Him being away with the title plays into his character because he'd be like, look, I've held the title for this long because I'm awesome.
It's the most important title in the WWE. Like, you can't have the champion just like away filming.
He's only going to be away for another week though.
Yeah, but look, they could have had anyone else win that title. Like Kevin Owens could have won the title. Zayn could have won the title. Just having Miz retain it, then leave to go.
But then they wouldn't have had people to fill the Money in the Bank. You got to look at it from a bigger perspective.
That was WWE's personal decision to have him leave and go
film
with
Marine
the
5.
title to promote that movie a little bit. That's probably what that was.
WWE movie, of course it was. Jeez.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have had people to. If they had that title there being contested, then half the people in the Money in the Bank wouldn't have been in the Money in the Bank match.
Well, no one person. So let's just say, for example, Zayn wins the IC title. So you put Wyatt in instead of Zayn. I don't think the match suffers too much for that. You know.
But that doesn't play into the fact that Strowman and Harper are more than likely going to take the titles off New Day.
I hope so.
Like they put it on him just to put the title on hold, basically.
Yeah, until the brand split. Yeah, pretty much. Because I don't believe they know what they're going to do with all these mid-card titles, really. Like, are they going to bring back more titles? Are they going to bring back a separate
they're certainly
heavyweight
going to have
title?
two world titles, aren't they?
Yep.
It is. I don't think they
have
quite
to
know
do,
what
because
they're
the
doing.
very idea is that they're both different brands, and the different brand would have its own world title. So you can't do it without having two world titles, really.
Yeah.
You need to treat it like two separate shows.
And that's what they're trying to pull for.
And you can't do that by just having one title.
Well, they're not even going to have they're going to have some joint promotions, but they're going to have, except for like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, and one other one, they're going to have double pay-per-views a month.
Yeah. So everyone's going to have their own pay-per-view except for the big four.
I'm down for 2 pay-per-views a month.
Same here.
It's like
just means more podcasts.
Yeah, it's like double. It's like double. You know, we get Smack. We now get double like Smack. So I usually get Raw every week.
If we get 2 pay-per-views a month, Dan, you're going to be a permanent member to come in and fill in for people. Because I don't think we're all going to be able to do that many podcasts.
No, there needs to be a few of us to cover it. Because sometimes I'm not available at the right times.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Okay, so we'll move on. The Shane McMahon Jericho segment.
Yeah.
I thought it was
funny.
Cool. Yeah.
Everything with Jericho is funny. Like Jericho's gold.
45 years old and still doing this, guys.
Yeah.
And he's still entertaining as fuck, and he can put on 5-star matches.
It's amazing, to be honest. Everything is brilliant.
That's because he takes like 10-month breaks every so often so that he can stay fit. Let's just be honest about this. If he hadn't taken those breaks to go and tour, he wouldn't still.
He would have burned himself out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this whole gift of Jericho. Drink it in, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's always done
and
that.
then the stupid idiot. The crowd will start chanting, stupid idiot.
He's
I
brilliant.
thought it was funny before Money in the Bank where he does the whole, I've won one, and they're like, which one? He's like, the first one? he's like, when? Oh, the 6th one? And they're like, the one in Vegas? And they're like, what are you talking about? He's just like, shut up, you stupid idiot, and just walks off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is gold. It is funny.
Alright, so that's the last segment of the night, and then we get the Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins match.
I thought this
was
a good match.
40-minute match. Yep. Well, 40-minute on the time card. Like, it started at, so over here, it's 10:20, and Raw ends at 11:07, so it was about 47 minutes.
Yeah.
Counting commercials and everything.
With 3 commercial breaks. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. It was a long freaking match, but it was a good match. They put on another show.
It was a very good match. I
But yeah, it was a great match.
It was sloppy.
There was no finishes other than the sloppy spear over the table, which obviously the table didn't collapse, which they really wanted to happen.
Yeah. I loved Ambrose on commentary.
Yeah. And it made, like I was saying at the start of the recap, that Ambrose out on commentary, then he stood up and he got himself all hyped, and I thought he was going to be the cause of the no contest or the disqualification.
Oh, whoever he would have hit first, the other guy would have won. So
he wouldn't necessarily have had to hit anyone though.
Still, it would have caused it one way or the other, and it was just more of a way. It's a way to make him look. If he jumped in, that would mean he's scared of one person winning or the other.
Yeah.
When he
If like he was
and the way
trying
they
to choose
finished
his
it,
opponent.
Yeah.
it made him look
Yeah, I see
like
that.
I don't give a fuck. I'll put anybody you put in front of me. I will beat. I do not care. I'll defend against anybody.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
did this not make Dean Ambrose look extremely strong?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I know we've had our talks, guys, over the past few weeks that he needs to work on his moveset a little bit, but like honestly, he looks strong, and he didn't even really do anything.
He just hit two dirty,
But look,
deeds, and he was bang.
The dirty deed is the most devastating, double arm DDT in the business style. It looks devastating, doesn't it? Like when it hits it.
And I thought back in the day, Drew McIntyre had a really good double arm DDT.
He still has it.
Oh, he still has it? I don't know. I don't watch TNA.
The way it hooks it and then snaps back, it's good. But yeah, it's a funny one because obviously now with this Roman suspension, there's no way he picks up the strap in the triple threat.
No. I can't believe he's suspended 30 days.
So
what a dumbass.
There's no way he picked up the strap. So what do we think is going to happen? Do we think Dean will retain?
I think Dean's going to retain, and it's going to lead to a... so it's going to lead to a Dean versus Seth probably at SummerSlam.
And then
how do you know that won't lead to a no contest?
Yeah.
And then they do it again at the next game.
No, I think Dean will walk out the champion still, and then Seth will win the title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Which will give Dean a 2-month reign.
It depends
who's
going to
Go on. Because by all rights, Seth should be beating Dean in a 1-on-1. That's right,
This is what I don't want to hear. Oh, you lost the title in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Well, you lost it in a minute. Just all this bullcrap.
Yeah.
These short title reigns are just ridiculous.
They need to put it on someone who's going to hold it for a while,
Exactly.
But you've got to remember, you've got Battleground and you've got the draft. So who you're going to have Roman on SmackDown with probably Cena, and you're going to have probably Ambrose and Rollins on Raw. So
I hope we get Cena and Reigns on the same show.
Reigns is going to go. Reigns is, whichever way you look at it, whatever promotion Reigns is going to be on, the title is going to be on the opposite one. So Ambrose will be on Raw, Reigns on SmackDown. So that takes Reigns completely out of the WWE title picture.
I don't think they're breaking the Shield guys up. I think they're all three staying on Raw.
I think they'll all stay on the same
and
show.
I think Cena and AJ are going to SmackDown, and then you're probably going to have Orton go over there with them.
I think Cena's blood. I think
or Bray Wyatt maybe. It might be Bray Wyatt, AJ
winning the title now for a while after the suspension.
Yeah, but I think they're going to keep it for the revolving rivalries you can have with Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to keep those guys on Raw, and then you're going to see Cena.
You could look at it.
AJ on SmackDown.
You could look at it in a different way, though. That you could have Ambrose as one champion, Rollins as another, and even though they're on separate promotions, you can still have the battle.
Look, I just want them to
title longer. You've got, and they can kind of have that, and they can always have that champion versus champion match.
Yeah, I just want an AJ versus Seth because that match is gold.
Oh, back in the day.
That match
they've been wrestling on dark matches against each other, and apparently they've been absolutely phenomenal.
Those two stylistically are golden. Like, put them in a 60-minute IMA match for the World Heavyweight title, it'll be absolutely immense. Like,
I don't think they'll be able to go 60 minutes.
I think they fucking could. They're both pretty much prime athletes. Both as good as Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels.
AJ has time's gone. He hit an Iron Man match with Christopher Daniels that went over almost an hour and a half.
There's no way those two could like, we would struggle to do a 60-minute Iron Man match. They are both like elite athletes at the top of the game. Like, if definitely they could sustain a match for 60 minutes. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
I'm like, if Bailey and Sasha could go 30 minutes, those two can go an hour.
Yeah, I guess.
Really go an hour.
When you look at it like that, yeah. An hour.
And they both work so well together. Those two, like, they just gel so well. Like, it would just be perfect if those two could get into a good sort of rivalry. But that's a WrestleMania sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, that was Raw. We did Money in the Bank. We did Raw. We're probably going to do another podcast maybe this weekend. I think I want to do it this weekend for the draft podcast. And I want to get Jackie Moon in here, guys.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll hit you guys up during the times that you guys are normally available.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
so before we go, I want to give a quick shout out to a few of the Facebook groups that are letting us share on their group, share our podcast. And I also want to let everyone know that we are now on YouTube. You can subscribe to us, The Killer Elite, a space in between each word.
Yeah.
Search for us, or if you see the link on one of the groups, just subscribe. And that's how we're going to get our name out there, guys.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so we'll do the our quick cheat pops.
Yeah, so I just want to give a quick shout out to Pro Wrestling Talk for letting us share on their Facebook group.
The wrestling community, TWC, we kind of got the oomph to start the podcast from them. So shout out to them.
Yeah, and a shout out to WWE Cheap Pops and WWE Is Life as well.
Yeah, the fans of WWE Supercard, the mobile game, for letting us post on there. Yeah, it's a good video game. If you haven't, a mobile game. If you haven't checked it out, go over and check it out. Yeah.
Yep, and then last but not least, the Wrestling Mayhem show on and Sorgatron Media. Go check out their stuff. They have multiple different types of podcasts, going from teaching you how to podcast to video games to wrestling, all around. They podcast about everything. With that, guys, everyone have an awesome day.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Dan for joining us
thank you, Dan.
on this podcast as well. Yeah, and have a good night, guys. Cheers.
TKE out.